Ban tech around the world. You won't believe these restrictions. Hey there, tech enthusiasts.
Welcome back to the channel.
Today, we're going on a journey across the world to explore some of the most bizarre, unexpected, and downright surprising tech bans. You'd think technology is meant to make life easier, right? Well, not everywhere. Some governments have decided that certain gadgets and apps are just too much for their liking, whether for security reasons, cultural concerns, or just because. Some of these bans kinda make sense, others are just plain weird, and a few will leave you scratching your head, wondering, what were they even thinking? So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the surprising ways technology has been banned around the world. Oh, and before someone decides to ban this video too, go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share it with your friends. Winking face. 1. UAE versus free calls phone. Our first stop is the United Arab Emirates, home to luxury, skyscrapers, and banned video calls. Yep, calling your family for free on WhatsApp, Skype, or FaceTime. Not happening. The UAE government strictly controls its telecom sector, ensuring that companies like Etisalat do maintain their revenue streams. The official explanation is that these bans exist for security reasons, but let's be honest, money plays a huge role here. Imagine you're an expat living in Dubai, trying to catch up with your family back home. Instead of making a free video call, you're forced to use overpriced telecom services. And if you think using a VPN will save you, think again. Many VPNs are also restricted in the UAE, making it even harder to bypass these bans. The irony? The UAE is a hub for innovation and futuristic projects, yet something as simple as a video call is out of reach unless you pay a premium. So, next time you visit Dubai, better start practicing your emoji communication. Tears of joy. 2. Japan's no sneaky photo rule. Camera with flash. If you take a photo in Japan, everyone around you will know about it. That's because every smartphone sold in Japan must make a loud shutter sound, even if it's on silent. This law was introduced in the early 2000s to prevent people from taking sneaky photos in public spaces, particularly on crowded trains and escalators. Privacy is taken very seriously in Japan, and this rule ensures that photography remains a transparent activity. But let's be real, it's also very awkward. Imagine you're at a quiet museum, trying to discreetly snap a picture of a rare artifact, only for your phone to go click. It's like an alarm alerting everyone that you're taking a photo. Many tourists are caught off guard by this, leading to some pretty funny moments in Japan. Even in casual settings, the shutter sound can be a little excessive. Picture this: you're at a fancy restaurant, wanting to take a quick Instagram pic of your beautifully plated sushi. Click. Now everyone thinks you're some kind of food paparazzi. But hey, at least this rule makes public spaces a little safer. 3. France declares war on selfie sticks. France is known for its romantic streets, historical monuments, and incredible art. But if you're planning to visit, leave your selfie stick at home. Several major tourist attractions, including the Louvre Museum, have completely banned them. The reason? They block views, disrupt other visitors, and frankly, can be dangerous when used carelessly. Imagine you're at the Louvre, trying to admire the Mona Lisa, only to have your view blocked by a sea of selfie sticks. Not exactly a dream moment, right? The ban isn't limited to just museums. Many concert venues and stadiums in France also prohibit selfie sticks. While some argue that it's a minor inconvenience, others believe it improves the experience for everyone. After all, do we really need selfie sticks when we have good old-fashioned human interaction? Just ask a friendly stranger to take your picture. Just make sure they don't run off with your phone. Open mouth smile. 4. North Korea, the internet. Never heard of it. Globe. North Korea takes tech bans to a whole new level. While most of us can't imagine life without the internet, North Koreans don't have access to it at all, at least not in the way we do. Instead of Google, YouTube, or social media, North Koreans have Kwangmyeon, a heavily censored intranet controlled by the government. Only a select few government officials and trusted elites can access the real internet. Everyone else is restricted to a small selection of government-approved websites. Social media platforms? Banned. Streaming services? Non-existent. Even owning a smartphone is a privilege, and those who do have them are subject to strict monitoring. The government uses technology as a tool of control, ensuring that outside information doesn't disrupt its tightly controlled society. It's a stark reminder of how technology can be both a tool for connection and a means of oppression. 5. Morocco says no to drones. Helicopter. If you love drones, Morocco might not be your ideal destination. The country has completely banned them for personal use, citing security concerns. Officials worry that drones could be used for spying, smuggling, or even terrorist activities. Bringing a drone into Morocco can lead to confiscation and fines, and flying one without authorization could get you into serious legal trouble. India also has strict drone regulations, especially near government buildings and airports. If you're planning to travel with a drone, always check local laws beforehand, unless you want your expensive gadget to become an expensive mistake. 6. China versus VPNs. Lock. Want to access blocked websites in China? You'll need a VPN. But here's the catch: VPNs are illegal unless the government approved. The Great Firewall of China is one of the most sophisticated internet censorship systems in the world, blocking thousands of websites, including Google, Facebook, and YouTube. While many residents and tourists try to bypass these restrictions using VPNs, the government actively cracks down on unauthorized services. Some VPN providers have even been fined or shut down. If you're visiting China, you might have to say goodbye to your favorite websites, unless you plan ahead. 7. Germany's Google Street View mystery world map. Germany has some of the strictest privacy laws in the world, which is why Google Street View looks very different there. Many homes and entire streets are blurred out because Germans really value their privacy. When Google first introduced Street View in Germany, thousands of people opted out, forcing Google to censor large parts of the country. This means navigating through German cities online can feel like playing a game of guess where this is. Some support the policy, arguing that privacy is more important than convenience. Others find it frustrating, especially when trying to explore neighborhoods before moving. What do you think, privacy or convenience? 8. Saudi Arabia bans Google Glass sunglasses. Remember Google Glass? Saudi Arabia wasn't a fan. The country banned it almost immediately, fearing that it could be used for secret recording. Many other countries have also restricted wearable tech, particularly smartwatches for children, due to privacy concerns. In France, smartwatches for kids have been banned in schools after concerns that they could be used for spying. It's a reminder that even futuristic tech has its limits when it comes to privacy and security. 9. China's PlayStation 2 banned video game. Imagine a gaming console so powerful that an entire country goes, nope, too dangerous. Well, that's exactly what happened with the PlayStation 2 in China. For over a decade, the console was banned, with the official reason being cultural invasion. Basically, the government was worried that foreign games might influence Chinese culture too much. But let's be real, kids just wanted to play Grand Theft Auto and Final Fantasy. The irony? Fast forward to today, and China is one of the biggest gaming markets in the world. Not only did they lift the ban, but now Chinese companies like Tencent are dominating the gaming industry. Talk about a plot twist. 10. Pokemon Go. Not in Iran video game. Remember when Pokemon Go took over the world, and suddenly everyone was outside, staring at their phones, running into trees, and nearly getting hit by cars? Well, Iran took one look at this chaos and said, yeah, no thanks. They became the first country to officially ban the game, citing security concerns. Authorities were worried that players would wander into restricted areas, or, just fall into open manholes while chasing a Pikachu. Sure, safety is important, but an outright ban? Sounds like someone missed out on catching a Charizard. 11. Cuba versus Wi-Fi antenna bars. If you've ever complained about slow Wi-Fi, let me introduce you to Cuba's internet situation. Until recently, home Wi-Fi wasn't even a thing. Instead, people had to gather in public hotspots, mostly in parks, just to check their messages. Imagine sitting on a park bench at midnight, trying to download a meme while a stray dog judges you. Not only was the internet ridiculously expensive, but it was also heavily controlled by the government. These days, home connections are allowed, but internet freedom is still limited. So next time your Netflix buffers, just be grateful you're not searching for a Wi-Fi signal in the middle of a town square. 12. Ethiopia's social media blackouts prohibited. Every student has thought about cheating on an exam at least once. But in Ethiopia, things got so out of hand that the government had to take extreme measures by shutting down social media completely during national exams. No Facebook, no Twitter, no WhatsApp, nothing. They basically hit the mute button on the internet to stop students from sharing test answers. Imagine waking up, ready to scroll Instagram, only to realize the entire country has gone offline. Sure, cheating is bad, but turning off the internet for millions of people, that's next level discipline. 13. India's TikTok banned movie camera. India and TikTok had a complicated relationship. The app became insanely popular, turning regular people into overnight stars. But in 2020, the Indian government decided to pull the plug, banning TikTok along with several other Chinese apps over security concerns. Some people were devastated, especially those with millions of followers, while others just shrugged and moved on. Meanwhile, local alternatives like Instagram Reels and Moj popped up almost instantly. Moral of the story? If you take away people's ability to lip sync and dance on camera, they will find a way. 14. Russia's ban on certain memes. Clown face. Russia is serious about a lot of things. And one of those things? Memes. Yep, in Russia, some memes are actually illegal, especially if they misrepresent public figures. In simple terms, this means you probably shouldn't Photoshop Putin into a Disney princess. The law is meant to prevent character defamation, but let's be honest, it just makes memes even more tempting to create. The internet, being the internet, found ways around this by using even more creative ways to make fun of politicians. It's like playing a high-stakes game of don't get caught making a meme. 15. Turkmenistan versus satellite dishes. Satellite dish. Imagine waking up one day and finding out your government thinks your satellite dish is too ugly for the country. That's exactly what happened in Turkmenistan, where the government decided satellite dishes were ruining the city's aesthetic and ordered their removal. Of course, the real reason probably had more to do with controlling access to foreign media. Now, people can only watch state-approved channels, which means no more Game of Thrones or Netflix marathons. Just good ol' government propaganda, 24/7. Fun times. 16. China's DeepSeek ban. Robot AI-powered search engines are supposed to make life easier, right? Well, not in China. The country recently banned DeepSeek, a powerful AI search engine that could access too much information. The government's concern? It was giving people, especially journalists and researchers, access to foreign content that didn't align with their strict internet policies. China has always been known for its Great Firewall, blocking platforms like Google, Facebook, and Twitter, so DeepSeek was just the latest casualty. The irony? Chinese companies are developing their own AI tools, but only under strict government control. So, if you're in China and ask DeepSeek, what's really going on in the world? Well, you won't get an answer. 17. Social media for kids? Not so fast. Prohibited cell phone. If you were a kid growing up in the 2000s, your biggest online risk was probably sending cringy messages on MSN Messenger. But today, governments are getting serious about protecting kids from social media. Countries like France, Spain, and even some US states are rolling out laws that ban or heavily restrict kids under 13, or even 16, from using social media without parental consent. The goal? To prevent cyberbullying, screen addiction, and creepy online predators. The problem? Kids are really good at finding loopholes. Give them a rule, and they'll create a fake birthday faster than you can say terms and conditions. 18. The UAE versus free messaging apps. No cell phone ever tried to make a WhatsApp call in the UAE. Surprise, you can't. Apps like WhatsApp, FaceTime, and Skype calls are blocked, forcing people to use government-approved alternatives like Bottom. The reason? Officially, it's about security and regulation. Unofficially, it's probably to protect telecom companies that make billions from international call fees. So, if you live in Dubai and want to call your family for free, well, good luck with that. Unless you enjoy pixelated video calls and laggy connections on weird, government-approved apps. 19. South Korea's gaming curfew. Video game hourglass. Most parents tell their kids, no gaming after bedtime. But in South Korea, that rule actually became law. Until recently, the country had something called the shutdown law, which banned kids under 16 from playing online games between midnight and 6 a.m. The government introduced it to fight gaming addiction, but it quickly became a joke. Why? Because teenagers simply started using their parents' accounts to bypass the rule. Eventually, the law was scrapped in 2021, proving once again that when it comes to gaming, kids will always find a way. 20. Egypt's ban on yellow vests construction. When you think of dangerous weapons, a yellow vest probably isn't the first thing that comes to mind. But in Egypt, buying or wearing yellow vests was banned for a while. Why? Because the government was afraid of protests inspired by the French Yellow Vest movement. The ban was so serious that shopkeepers were told not to sell them, unless they wanted a visit from the police. So, if you were a construction worker or a cyclist who just wanted to be safe on the road, tough luck. Better to risk getting hit by a car than getting arrested for fashion crimes. Alright, folks, that's a wrap on some of the most unusual bans around the world. From outlawing memes to banning Pokemon Go, it's safe to say the world has its fair share of unexpected rules. But now, I want to hear from you. Which of these bans surprised you the most? Or do you know of an even more unusual one? Drop it in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share it with your friends. Every like and sub gives me the motivation to keep making more awesome content, because let's be honest, I'm way better at making videos than becoming a professional knitter. Also, check out my other videos. I promise they're just as fun, if not even more surprising. Your support means the world, and it helps me create even bigger and better content in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.